And welcome back, everyone, to another Who Would Win Double Trouble, as always, until I find more work. From Kalush, or Kalusho. What's the question? Who wins in a fight? Pinhead, he'll tear your soul apart, versus the Wishmaster, the Djinn, a price for every wish. I low-key really enjoy the Wishmaster movies, particularly the first two where you have, oh God, one second. I always, I know like basic pronunciation of this guy's name, but hold on, Wishmaster. Um, something Divolovich or so. Oh, hold on. Andrew Dibov. Andrew Dibov. That's him. Now I love his version of the Djinn. The guys that got to play him in the third and fourth one were fine, but they also changed the design, and I don't know. He just has a really, really cool just presence about him. He has a natural, I'm sure he's a lovely man in real life, but he has a natural menace to him that he really enjoys using too. Like you can tell he had fun playing those roles. They just probably he was either just busy, couldn't work out his scheduling, or just like, I did it the first two times, I'm good. that was more or less it. I don't know if he's done anything recently. Has he done anything recently? Let's just find out real quick. Andrew Dibov. For some reason, I thought there was like a Dibovich, like a Vitch in his name. But let's see, Dibov. Oh, most recently he did Camp Pleasant Lake, Call of Duty Black Ops 2020. He was in the most recent version of Perry Mason. There we go. Oh no, I don't want producer credit. I want actor credit. Give me actor. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. Oh, these are upcoming. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so let's see. Vault. I mean, he seems to do a lot of lesser movies or some TV work. Is there anything like he was in The Strain apparently for one episode? Blacklist. He was in 6 episodes of that. Oh, well, whenever I get around to watching that, because my girlfriend wants us to watch that, I'll check that out. And I like the actor, and B, like the design of his Djinn more. And those two movies, I think, really kind of, they went a little too wacky. It's weird to say, with the Djinn in the third movie. And then the fourth movie, they actually were able to kind of scale him back and get it a bit more right. Anyway, the Djinn is just that, a Djinn, a primordial spirit demonic creature of whatever kind. It's never actually explained what the Djinn truly are. They can't qualify as demons, spirits, whatever. But what they are supernatural entities of demonic nature, I think is a better way to put it. And they are capable of just reality warping. They can literally grant a wish, no matter what you say. Now, granted, the wish always comes with a cost. No one's ever smart enough to actually try to think things through, because no one thinks, oh, this guy's going to screw me over. But he does. But yeah, and even and he can kind of just grant like every person he meets one single wish, but the person who finds the ruby, or aka his lamp, is granted the 3 wishes. Once you wish for the third thing, the Djinn are allowed, all of his kind are allowed to re-enter the world, because all the Djinn are kind of trapped in another dimension. He's physically far tougher than a normal human, can't be killed by natural means. Honestly, there are only a few limitations to him and weaknesses he has. In terms of limitations, there are fundamental rules he can't break. For example, he says, and I think it's in the second movie. The girl wishes, I wish there are no more evil in the world. 2 halves of the same coin. Wish again. I wish there was something else you wish for. Wish again. Like there are limited. Like he says, there are some rules even I'm bound by. Like there are things he is limited to, but otherwise, like the only way to kill him, is through divine means. Really. I mean, I'm sure if I threw, say, Dormammu at him from Marvel, Dormammu could kill his ass without too much difficulty. Like that level of power is universal and beyond. So he's not a universal level being per se, although his powers certainly could affect certain fundamentals of the universe. Although, I mean, that's a good question. Someone wished there was no more gravity. Could he do that? If that's a fundamental force of the world, could he do that? I'm not so certain or the universe. I'm not so certain he could. because there are like he's just bound by certain concepts. You can't get rid of things that need to exist. Basically, you can't get rid of good without getting rid of evil, and vice versa. Now, if you got rid of all morality in the world, that would work. But yeah, like we've never seen what the true limitations of his powers are. Like, what is the most powerful wish he could grant? We do know though that even though he can feel pain, he can't be no natural weapon would kill him. There's the infamous scene in the first one where it just says, "I'll give you it for me, blow your head off," an interesting idea, and it just grows like happy, but if it's any consolation, that hurt like hell. He still feels pain, so it's interesting and nonetheless to see to match him up against individuals. Pinhead, the Cenobite leader, well, the high priest. I think he's either the high priest or the grand priest of the Cenobites. I can't remember which rank his priest is, but Pinhead is basically the leader of the Cenobites. Now, obviously, I use the standard version of Pinhead. I did not mind the new version of Pinhead. Like the new Hellraiser wasn't like a masterpiece movie or anything like that, but it was a far better movie than I think any of us thought it could be. And I liked, actually, I could intently see a female version of Pinhead. I think that performer actually might have been not non-binary, or maybe non-binary. Either way, it doesn't really matter that part. What does matter is that I actually enjoyed that version of Pinhead. Not to say it was like insanely different than any other version of Pinhead, apart from gender, but I did like also the resolution in that story too. That was actually a really good twist on it. It's like, no, it's like, you will forget everything. No, I know. I see. You've chosen a lament configuration. It's like game recognized. You're going to be tortured by this all your life. Game recognizes game. And then they fuck off. Like I dug that ending. That was actually a really cool twist on it. Pinhead himself, though, is still immensely powerful. Now, again, I just always need to preface this because I know if I don't, you're going to get someone in the comments section saying it. Pinhead is not a multiversal being. Someone said that a long time ago, and he's just not. There's never been any real display of power, as far as I know, in the movies. And I know there is comics about how strong. Let me just for my own education, strong is Pinhead. Let's find out, shall we? How strong is Pinhead? Like, okay, Pinhead, a powerful supernatural being, divided powers, a demonic realm. Its power level varies based on lore and interpretations. Okay, so that might be partly where that whole power estimate comes, because it's varied over the years. He's generally considered stronger than many other horror icons, and that would make sense. He's immune to pain. Well, that makes the story I wrote a little bit. Oh well. He's immune to pain. He does have supernatural strength, and obviously the ability to summon hooks and chains from anywhere. He can teleport, transform, exert telepathic control, especially within his own domain. He's also got the ability of pyrokinesis. He can literally just blow things up. He's also extremely intelligent. His power is tied in connection with Leviathan, and changes that connection could affect his power. Individuals and collective power is also influenced by the collective power of the Cenobites and their connection to the demonic realm. It is also influenced by his soul, because the human that Pinhead does exist in him still, but he has been split from that before. When Pinhead goes off the rails, Pinhead gets scared. Like, he's always conducts himself with a level of grace and poise, almost like a gentlemanly manner. But he's not infallible. Like, he's been defeated before. Hell, he's been beaten by other Cenobites. There were mitigating circumstances behind that, but he has been beaten by other Cenobites, to be sure. So, in terms of a fight, because the Djinn wouldn't really be bound by any real rules in terms of defending himself or anything like that, and if this fight takes place in the real world or in just, like, say, the Hell Dimension, and the Djinn somehow find themselves there, the Wishmaster's powers are far, far more vast than what Pinhead can do. Not to mention that even though they are both kind of, one is certainly demonic being with Cenobite, the other is more or less demonic, let's say. Because they're both demonic entities, they can affect each other, I'd imagine. But that all comes down to the level of power. And honestly, theoretically, he could just take away his connection, like just disconnect him from Leviathan, in theory. Or reactivate his ability to feel pain. Or just negate any attack that comes his way. Turn him into a cookie or something like that. A sandwich, make him a doll. Or make him like a chia pet. A little pinhead cushion. Theoretically, the Wishmaster has all the power in the world to basically just say, yeah, no, and just waste Pinhead. But this all hinges on the idea, if you will, that the Wishmaster's power would be infallible if he's just fighting some other demonic entity. For example, when he's fighting I think it's the Archangel Michael, who gets brought down to possess that guy's body to fight him. He's not using. I'm granted, he's taking the form of this guy, but he's not using all of the power he has at his disposal, because I don't know if he can really. I think that in lies the limitation of the Wishmaster, is the fact that, yeah, he has all this power, but he does need an outlet to put it in, to transform it, if you will. So it's tough, because Pinhead's been shown more in terms of combat in any rate. Pinhead has been shown more easily beaten than the Wishmaster, because except for the Archangel Michael, who wasn't even able to really, still wasn't like dominating the fight or anything. Apart from him, no one has ever beat the Djinn in a straight fist fight. And he's gotten into a couple straight fist fights too. But again, to be fair, he's mostly against humans. And the one time he fought an angel, he was still holding his own pretty well. Whereas, yeah, Pinhead doesn't normally fight physically anyway. But the one movie where he kind of got usurped temporarily, he did lose the fight. So, but again, there was circumstances behind that. I think it comes down to the fact that because it would probably come down to a straight physical fight, and the Djinn can just Jin can still use his magic. It's kind of limited, I think. He can probably offset the chains, and if Pinhead doesn't really have the chains, then what? He can try to blow the Djinn up? Great. I don't think... It all comes down to, I don't think Pinhead has the level of power needed to take down the Wishmaster. I think the Wishmaster is just physically stronger, has more overall power, and most importantly, I don't think he has a specific ability that could kill the Wishmaster, because the Wishmaster's overall weakness is more holy and divine based, whereas as a Cenobite, he's most assuredly not. Assuredly, I'm gonna say assuredly. I was combining assuredly and certainly. Assuredly, he's most assuredly not. So I'd probably go the Wishmaster in this fight. But again, because of the weird limitations the Wishmaster kind of has on him when it comes to wishing and stuff, I can't say that would be a guaranteed fight or guaranteed win. I do think Pinhead could certainly be annoying to him, to say the least. But anyway, I digress. That's my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.